Good evening and welcome to KVR Sports Extra. I'm Aaron Walling and that's Ryan Bolin. Before we get started, we want to let everyone know any scores not final on the show tonight can be found on our website afterwards.
Yeah, that is right. It's a big night in the region as football is officially in full swing. Arguably the biggest game of the night was in Grand Forks.
Yeah, Ryan, it's a Dakota Bowl rematch between West Fargo-Moorhead and Grand Forks Red River. The Hawks won the Division IIA title 14-8 last November. Well, they're now 3A team looking to start the season with a win. And Horace trying to spoil the fun here at Cushman Field as new players take over important positions. And same goes for Red River as they too have big shoes to fill on their roster. First quarter, Ty Geary gets the handoff and he is off to the races, breaking tackles on his way to the end zone. The senior puts the Hawks on the board first. After a Red River drive stalled, Horace back in action. Matthew Dick fires, and it is picked by Joda Pence. He's got one man to beat, and Horace, though, stops a pick six. Second quarter, Horace still up 6-0. Play action here. Dick fires to Chris Nivelles, who scores the touchdown. Horace will win 34-7. Up next, it's a blistering day in Grand Forks. Bismarck, St. Mary's, and Whites, while the Knights are in their, maroon uniforms. Early first quarter, Grand Forks Central with the ball. Nas Fisher takes the handoff, says, "Get off me," and finds contact on the first down run. Now in the second, Rylan Dabrowski drills this 32-yard field goal to give Grand Forks Central the 3-0 lead over the Saints. Later in the second, Brody Ledegy takes the snap. It's a trick play, and Trey Clausen will throw it to Ledegy for the touchdown, and they lead 10-0. Knights go on to win 23-12.
Couple more scores in Division IIA. Kindred and Central Cass making their debuts tonight in that division, and both will get wins. The Vikings ranked number 2 hosting Devils Lake. Kindred winning this one 42-12 to start the year 1-0, and Central Cass with a convincing win over Watford City to begin the year 1-0. At last check for us, it is in the fourth quarter. Squirrels up 41-6. The Division IIIA, a top 5 showdown at Davies High School and a rematch of the state semifinals a year ago. Davies won that one. And this one was all Eagles, already 21-0 when Kane Mathiasen takes this one for a 42-yard house call and a 28-0 lead. The Davies defense in this one as good as you can get. Minot looking to pass on a third down, going deep, but check this play out from number 5. Chris, he's going to break this one up and force a punt. And the Eagles were just having their way on the ground all night long. Tucker Costin from a yard out adds another score as Davies opens the year with a convincing win over Minot, 42-14 the final. Some other scores in Division IIIA. The defending champion Cheyenne Mustangs ranked number 1, battling Bismarck Legacy and an upset to start the year. Legacy winning at 34-18. And West Fargo hosting 4th-ranked Bismarck High. A thriller here. Bismarck wins it 13-12 in overtime.
Now scores from Division A tonight. Thompson and Hillsborough Central Valley both looking for a 2-0 start to the year. And it is the Burros accomplishing that tonight with a 28-20 win. And Northern Cass and Bottineau battling for a perfect start to start the year. And it's Bottineau leaving the win with a 33-7 final.
And some scores from 9-man. Hankinson looking to build off a week 0 win, battling Richland here. Hankinson winning it big, 68-0 to begin the year 2-0. And the defending champs, New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock, looking for a 2-0 start themselves, taking on St. John. Another blowout. They win it 70-6. Across the Red River, Minnesota high school football is rolling. DGF coming off a section runner-up finish last season in Section 8-3A. Looking to start 2025 on the right foot. First quarter, no score. Ball goes to Jace Baumgartner, and he bursts down the sideline to move the chains. Later, another big run. This time, it's Jacob Lupke with a 12-yard scamper to the 3-yard line. Finishing the job is Baumgartner, right into your living room for the 7-0 Rebels lead. On the ensuing drive for Thief River Falls, they go to the pass, but don't throw it on Aiden Walton. The interception sets DG up with great field position. This drive, though, would stall on a fumble, but the Rebels do find their way into the win column. 28-7 winners over Thief River Falls. Some other scores in Class 3A. East Grand Forks on the road tonight, taking on Staples Motley. The Green Wave falling by a final score of 42-13. In Park Rapids area, moving up from Class 2A to 3A this season. They host Perham tonight. Perham leading 20-14 at last look for us late in the fourth. And in 4A, Detroit Lakes looking to build off last season's 5-4 finish. They opened the season with a loss, 20-7 versus Delano. And Fergus Falls, the reigning Section 8-3A champions, now in Class 4A. They host Wilmer tonight. They start the year with a win, 21-13, the final. To the baseball field, Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks begin the final series of the regular season tonight, knowing who they will play in the first round of the playoffs.
That is right. The Sioux City Explorers announced Friday they will play the Sioux Falls Canaries, so it's Redhawks versus the Kansas City Monarchs in the first round. But home field advantage for that series is still to be determined, so definitely something to play for in these final 4 games for Fargo-Moorhead. The Redhawks trail KC by 2 games in the standings for home field advantage, and a good start to this one to try and gain ground. The Sermonator, Jose Thermo, with a 2-run shot to left and a quick 2-0 Redhawks lead. Same score in the third. Well, it's Sermo again, and this time he's keeping it in the ballpark. Watch as he gets a base hit, and it's going to score another. Redhawks lead this one 4-2 in the 8th at last check. Game 2 is Saturday at 5:35 p.m.
To the majors, the Twins 3-7 in the last 10 games, hosting the San Diego Padres tonight. It's 3-2 Twins in the fourth. Trevor Larnach coming through with a couple of men on. 2 score on the base hit up the middle as the Twins extending its lead. To the fifth, goodbye baseball. Royce Lewis with his 9th home run of the season. Twins lead this one 7-2 in the 7th inning at last check. Game 2 tomorrow night, 6:10 p.m. The college volleyball, our Division I programs begin their seasons tonight.
Yeah, both NDSU and UND in action, and both teams look to have a better season after finishing 2024 without a winning record in the Summit League.
Yeah, NDSU picked to finish 6th this season, UND 7th. Let's start with the Bison. They're hosting Bowling Green. The Bison hoping to start the season with a win. Bowling Green won earlier in the day over Temple. Opening point, NDSU gets the early lead. Allie Barth with the thunderous kill for the 1-0 advantage. Later in the set, a nice dig here from Bowling Green, and the Falcons gonna pick up the point to lead this first set by 3, but enter Lauren Jansen. 2 straight aces tying this set up, and that helps NDSU take it 25-18. They go on to win the next 2, winning a 3-0 sweep.
At the Betty Ingolstadt Sioux Center, UND volleyball takes on the St. Mary's Gales, and North Dakota is off to a hot start defensively. Ander Hammer stuffs that ball back for the block. UND up 2-0. Later in the first, tied 5-5. Paige Barber, the pride of Ohio, slams this ball down for the kill. North Dakota back on top. Still in the opening set, though. Fighting Hawks down 10-8. It's going to be a long receive, but Durhammer gets the kill, but UND will fall in a 5-setter, 3-2 to St. Mary's. Now to Jackson, Mississippi, as the UND Fighting Hawks are looking for a 5-0 start to the season as they take on Jackson State. Early free kick for the Tigers. Malaya Nestro lining up the shot, but that is saved by Grace Miller, and we stay scoreless. Later in the first, off the UND throw-in, Charlie Bassinet is going to cross this over to Amelia Loeffler, sends it into the back of the net, and the Fighting Hawks strike first. And for the first time since 2005, UND starts the season 5-0 as they win 5-0 over Jackson State. The season begins for NDSU and UND football on Saturday. Hear from the teams after the break. Welcome back to the show. College football is back in the region, and the North Dakota State Bison are ready for the 2025 season. The defending national champions will have a new starting quarterback and a new offensive line, despite all the challenges and changes. Second-year head coach Tim Polasek says people need to step up.
We got to be wolves versus sheep. Sheep get fed. They sit in the pen and they wait for the person to show up to feed them. We got to be hungry, and we got to be hunting, and we got to do that at an all-time high. And I'm so super. I'm maybe more excited than last year, and even though last year is the first year, I just think we have so many guys that are ready to step into roles that they haven't been in.
A new season also means a new starting quarterback for the Bison. Cole Payton gets his big break as the QB and will lead North Dakota State into Week 1 against the Citadel.
Camp gets long when it comes to beating up on each other. Code Green is has had our number for the last month, and we go back and forth, and so it's going to be fun to just play someone different. This is what you work for, and so yeah, it's going to be exciting to play someone different than Code Green.
On the defensive side of the ball, the Code Green defense is facing a Citadel offense that loves to run the ball. They have a lot of new starters and important players for NDSU who will look to start 2025 on the right foot. One of those players leading the charge is senior defensive tackle Jackson Dutenheffer. The Bison captain from Mandan shares what it means to play for North Dakota State and be a leader of this program.
To be able to step back and just be how blessed I am, and just to be honest, I'm just so grateful to be where I'm at. Honestly, it's just it's a dream come true being from the state. It's a dream come true to represent this program. It's a dream come true to be a captain on this team. And it doesn't matter what future that may hold. It doesn't matter if football's in the future or not. But like to be able to be at this program, to be from the state, to be from a homegrown kid, it's just a dream come true. And just to be able to maybe to sound like, hey, like the bumps, the bruises, the ups and downs, it's all worth it. And just go out there and show the world like, hey, you play for the Bison, be proud that you wear that green and gold.
The Bison start their season tomorrow on the road against the Citadel. NDSU will be playing at the Johnson Haygood Stadium in Charleston, South Carolina at 11 a.m. In Grand Forks, the UND Fighting Hawks are gearing up for a Week 1 battle against the Kansas State Wildcats, and they're being led by a new starting quarterback. UND announced on Monday that Jerry Kaminsky, a sophomore on the roster, has won the quarterback battle and will start in Manhattan, Kansas.
Jerry Kaminsky will take the first snaps here on Saturday. Really felt like he's earned it. He came into fall camp probably in the lead. We felt like he improved the most from January throughout spring practice and left spring practice as the most consistent guy.
We just felt like Jerry took the best care of the ball, was consistently good over the rest of them, but we got 3 guys that can play and can do a lot of great things for us for sure in this roster. And that makes us difficult to defend. So I don't know if there was one moment that we just said like, boom, there it is. But just as we continued to talk, it felt like consistently good, not occasionally great, kept coming to our minds.
Kaminsky stood out in the end to the coaching staff, who beat out a quarterback room that included a transfer and last year's starting QB. The sophomore from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, was on the other end of losing out on the position last year with UND. Now he's ready to take over the program and lead the Fighting Hawks.
We've been preparing for this, like Coach was saying, since Coach Schmidt has got here, and everything has been leading up to this moment. Coach Schmidt talks all the time about the full year calendar, and the work works. And I think this team has done a great job of buying into the work and really pushing ourselves. And the standard is to do more. And I think we've really bought into that, and guys are doing more every day. So, that is not just giving me confidence, but I have confidence in the guys around me as well.
The Fighting Hawks start their season on Saturday at 6 p.m. in Manhattan, Kansas. They take on Kansas State Wildcats at the Bill Snyder Family Stadium. In Division II football, the MSU Dragons opened the season Thursday night against Northern Michigan, and the Dragons battled back from a 21-point deficit. MSU Moorhead ended up winning 44-37 over the Wildcats. Once again, senior quarterback Jack Strand was masterful in the pocket with 336 yards passing and 6 touchdowns thrown. Strand is now 49 yards away from breaking 10,000 career passing yards with the MSU Dragons. While the offense was great, the defense, though, struggled on the road, giving up 308 yards rushing. The Dragons return to play on Saturday, September 6th against Southwest Minnesota State. MSUM is looking for their first 2-0 start since 2015. Game is set for 5 p.m. at the Mackey Field in Marshall, Minnesota. The Dragons have won 4 games in a row over SMSU. A homecoming for the Minnesota Vikings. Hear from Adam Thielen and Carson Wentz after the break.
It's been quite the homecoming between the Minnesota Vikings and natives from around the region. Carson Wentz of Bismarck, North Dakota, and Adam Thielen of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, became Minnesota Vikings this week. Thielen previously played with the Vikings from 2014 through 2022 before being released and signing with the Carolina Panthers. The Detroit Lakes native has quite the football story that we all know by now, playing his college ball at Division II Minnesota State Mankato and having to try out for the Vikings before making the team. Thielen spoke this week on what it means to return home.
Just didn't think that this was even a possibility. I thought the next time I would be talking to you guys is when I was signing a one-day contract and retiring. So this is pretty surreal. Obviously, you guys know without me saying it how much this place means to me. The state, the city, this organization. Couldn't be more excited, and there's nothing I could say to tell you how excited I am to be back home in my family. Can't wait to get them back here as they're excited as well.
For Carson Wentz, he grew up in Bismarck, North Dakota before becoming an NDSU Bison legend, winning a couple of FCS national championships. He has been hopping around the league the last few years after he was the 2016 second overall pick to Philadelphia. Now he calls Minnesota his home. Wentz grew up a Vikings fan and is looking forward to wearing the purple and gold this season.
You know, it's exciting coming to a place that had a lot of respect for since I've been in the NFL, but also I grew up cheering for the Vikings, so kind of surreal in that sense, but a lot of excitement for me and my family. Happened pretty quick. You know, I was obviously at home for all of camp, all of off season, just kind of waiting for the right thing, and this worked out. You know, when they called, I was very excited about the opportunity to come in and help in any way I could, and not gonna lie, I beat sitting on the couch.
Sure does. With the additions last week, though, came the deductions. The Vikings trimmed the roster down to 53 players on Tuesday. While the Vikings bolster the depth of the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side has a few question marks. Not everywhere, as the D-line, linebackers, and safeties are solidified, but the Vikes have just 4 cornerbacks rostered at this point, with Game 1 just over a week away. The GM, Kwesi Odofu-Mensah, says that is not a big concern in his eyes.
You know, it's a position, obviously, we have the ability to play big nickel and different things like that. So we look at that group with that versatility. But, you know, we're able to bring back Fabian, who we view as a, you know, NFL caliber guy who can come in and play a lot of snaps for us. And we'll always be mindful throughout the season to look at different opportunities.
The countdown is on. Game 1 is Monday, September 8th against the Chicago Bears. After the break, we reveal our nominees for the Chris Heise Play of the Week.
It is now time for the best part of the show. Let's take a look at this week's Chris Heise Play of the Week nominees.
4 plays to choose from this week. Let's take a look.
Yeah, our first play, I'm calling it the Night Special. Shades of Philly here as the trick play results in a touchdown for the Grand Forks Central Knights against Bismarck St. Mary's. Here it is again. Brody Lettigy gets the snap, hands it to Eli Thompson, tosses it to Trey Clausen, who's looking for Lettigy, fires into a small window, but the catch is made and the Knights score.
Play 2, Thursday night in Moorhead. The Spuds battling Rogers, and check out this play. Quarterback Jet Feeney throwing it to the end zone for Jamison Dunlap, and the MSUM football commit coming down with it. One more time. Feeney, he's hit as he throws this ball, and then it's Dunlap with the concentration to make the play after the deflection. All part of a big win for the Spuds to begin the 6A era of football.
In our third play, we go down to Jackson, Mississippi. Charlie Bassinet with the crosser, and Amelia Loeffler flies it in to send it into the back of the net for the first goal of the game for UND. Let's check that again. Bassinet takes this ball to the right, and watch as she gets some daylight, sends it across the field, and Loeffler flies in, finishes it off for the sweet goal.
Play 4 from earlier in the show, Aiden Walton for DGF with the perfect anticipation to pick this pass off and return it deep into Thief River Falls territory. One more time, Walden reading the quarterback like a book here. This play helping the Rebels to an opening night win over the Prowlers, 28-7.
But who should win? That is for you to decide at home. We have 4 plays to choose from. Is it the Night Special for the Central Knights? Jamison Dunlap's catch for the Moorhead Spuds? Is it Amelia Loeffler's goal for UND Soccer? Or is it Aiden Walton's interception for the DGF Rebels? Vote on our X or Instagram pages at KVR Sports and on the KVR Facebook page, and we'll reveal the winner on Monday night. Now, Ryan, some updates that you have for games?
First off, love the Night Special name.
Oh, thank you.
Central Cast, they did win 41-14 over Wofford City, as that last score showed on our screen. And Perham, winners over Park Rapids area, and we still don't know Twins and Redhawks. They're still not over for us. That's unfortunate, but a nice week of high school football finally starting again.
I know, right? Just a full swing of things, and then seeing some kids that we've interviewed and talked to about their next steps in college, and then performing on the stage. I mean, Dunlap's catch.
I couldn't believe it when it happened. I was like, okay, this guy's going to be good.
Well, I mean, that whole Moorhead team is pretty good.
There's something special.
Oh, yeah. Well, folks, have yourselves a wonderful night. We'll catch you next time.